Welcome to Speak English with Tiffani. I am Teacher Tiffani. Let's jump right in. One of the best ways to improve your English is to practice describing images. So let's look at them together. Okay, this is our first picture and we are going to be finding pieces of information within the picture that answer the question of who. Remember, who is the first of the 5 W's. So let's look closely at this picture. And what do we see first? First, we see 2 girls. So the first piece of information is 2 girls. And if we look a bit closer, we can also say that these are 2 white females. Now, let's go into more detail. Let's look a little closer. Something that we see is the shirts and the shorts that they are wearing. They look like they may be runners or athletes. So we can write runners or athletes. These are 2 options that we have, runners or athletes. Let's put or in the middle, runners or athletes. And then if we look in more detail, her face looks quite young and so does her face. So maybe these 2 white females or these 2 girls are actually high school students. So we can write this right here, high school students. Now let's get one more piece of information. So if they're high school students, they are probably teenagers. So let's write teenagers at the bottom of this picture. Teenagers. So for this one picture, we have 5 different pieces of information that can give us more details about who. We have 2 white females, 2 girls, runners or athletes, high school students, or teenagers. Now, let's move on to the next picture. Okay, here's our next picture, and we are going to talk about what. We're going to look at this picture and figure out what is actually going on in this picture. So, in the picture, of course, we see 2 women, but what are they doing? The first thing that we notice is that they are sitting on a rock. So we can write sitting on a rock. Remember, what refers to the action, what is going on in the picture. So the next thing we notice, well, they have some shoes on their back. So maybe they went hiking in a wet place. So we can also say they are possibly resting after a hike. Maybe they feel very tired. So maybe they are resting after a hike. Now, the next thing we notice is that these 2 women, while they're looking out, they probably are talking to each other. So maybe they are having a conversation. Gotta put this on the next line. A conversation. Then what's in front of them? Well, in front of them, we can see a lot of water. And we notice that they're both looking this way. So maybe they are just looking at the water. So let's write that. Looking at the water. And let's just do one more. So looking at the picture again, it looks like they're also sitting very comfortably. Maybe they're waiting for someone. So since they're sitting in front of the water, maybe they're waiting for a boat. Maybe they're waiting for a boat. So in this one picture, there are 5 different pieces of information that could possibly answer the question of what. Either they are having a conversation, just sitting on a rock, resting after a hike, waiting for a boat, or looking at the water. Okay, now we have our next picture, and for this picture we are going to focus on when. We're going to look at this picture and see what pieces of information in the picture can tell us possibly when it was taken. So the first thing we can look at is the top portion. It looks very bright outside. So this picture was probably taken during the day. So the first one we can write is during the day. Now let's get a bit more specific. Let's see, possibly, now these people are carrying their bags and he's also relaxing. So maybe it's not the morning, maybe this is actually in the afternoon. So we can say in the afternoon. Now let's look at it one more time. There's this young man again, and there's also this older man. Now this young man probably has a job, but he's relaxing. So maybe it's not a weekday. Maybe this was taken on the weekend. So we can also think about saying on the weekend. Let's come up with a few more. So let's see. Now again, this person is older, so he probably is retired or doesn't have a job and is just relaxing. But the people in the background, people over here, and also once again, this young man, they all are at the age where they should be working. So maybe it's not a work day. It could either be the weekend, as we said before, or it could be during a holiday. And let's do one more. Now this man on the right and this man on the left, maybe there is some relationship. Maybe he is his grandfather. So maybe it's his birthday and his grandson is spending time with him. So we have 5 different pieces of information just about this picture that answer the question of when. On the weekend, during the day, during a holiday, in the afternoon, or even on his birthday. Okay, now our next picture deals with where. So we're going to use this picture and try to find information that will answer the question of where. We'll look at some details. We see that there are a lot of females in this picture and they're smiling. So let's get started. Well, we see this right here and it's a door. So maybe they are at someone's house. So let's say they are at a house. Now let's look at the picture one more time. Now, since the women are all wearing dresses, maybe they are at a church. Maybe they got dressed up and they are at a church. Let's see. Now, we mentioned that this is a door of a house. So we could also just say very simply, in front of a door. Now let's see. There's something unique about their dresses. One more time, let's look at these dresses again. They're all the same and they're quite nice. So maybe they are at a wedding reception. So maybe they are at a wedding reception. The after party, because they're smiling and they look very happy and they look like maybe the ceremony's over and it's time to party. Or it could possibly be, remember, there are only 4 females in this picture. In Western culture, before a wedding starts, the women come together and they get ready. So maybe they're at a hotel getting ready for the wedding. So they could also possibly be at a hotel. So once again, looking at this picture, we have 5 different options for where it could have been taken. At a wedding reception, at a house, at a hotel, in front of a door, or even at a church. Now, in our next picture, we will look at information that answers the question of why. So we see that this is a very unique picture this time. We see there are 4 people. It looks like 2 little children, a mom that looks a little bit older, and then also we see kind of a teenage girl on the right side. So let's look at why they are doing what they're doing. So the first thing we're going to look at is the bananas, or possibly plantains, on their backs. So they are possibly going to sell bananas somewhere. So they are going to sell bananas. That's why they are carrying them on their back. Now let's see. Maybe the reason that they are inside, it looks like they are inside, and even though they're inside, it looks a bit dark. So maybe it's raining outside. That's why they're standing inside. So maybe it is raining outside. Okay, let's look at it a little closer. Now, if we notice, there are a lot of bananas on each of their backs. A lot, even for the little people. So why are they doing this? Well, maybe because they're very strong and they don't need help. So they are strong. Now let's see. We notice that they are from a different country, so maybe it's a part of their culture to carry bananas like that. So what's the reason? It could possibly be it is their culture. That's why they're carrying the bananas. And last, let's see. Now we notice again that this is a child, this is a child, and this is a child. However, this is an adult. So maybe this is their mother, and their mom is teaching them how to work. So we could say their mom is teaching them. Let's erase that G and let's do it again. Teaching them how to work. So once again, we have multiple pieces of information about one picture that answers the question why. It is raining outside. They are going to sell bananas. Their mom is teaching them how to work. It is their culture. Or we can even say they are strong. Now it's time to continue learning. If you want to really improve your English fluency and your English writing skills, get your ebook today at speakenglishwithtiffani.com/howtoebooks.